gentlemen, your next bout of the evening is sponsored by BetMGM. It's in the welterweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 169.6 pounds. He has a record of 0 wins and 4 losses. He represents Athens Jiu-Jitsu out of Athens, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thomas Neal Grady. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 170.5 pounds. He has a professional record of 6 wins and 5 losses. He represents Somerset Martial Arts out of Somerset, Kentucky. They call him Captain America, Ian Lawler. Your referee is Luke Wilson.
Grady laughed out loud and made a gesture when they introduced that 0-4.
You know what? Records don't mean anything. The fact that he's still showing up and he hasn't been demoralized, you're only going to get better. We've seen a lot of people get their first wins tonight. Grady wants to be one of them. Plus, he's got a hell of a beard on him, really.
Yeah, he does.
Both these guys. Nobody's lacking in that department.
Right, connected.
Lawler's just so strong. My God.
Oh.
And now, realistically, you have a black belt on top of a blue belt. So this is not the position that Grady wanted to be in. But, you know, you got a big, strong, muscular opponent here in Ian Lawler. So you just got to survive and cause him to work as much as he can. Try to fatigue him, because this is not an ideal start.
Yeah, the action taking place right in front of us. Lawler basically being able to move around at will.
But he's muscling him a lot, where you see Grady's just kind of flowing. He's holding on. He hasn't really been hit with anything. Lawler hasn't really tried to pass his guard to this point. Again, there's so much time in the round.
Yeah.
He's using a can opener to maybe open his guard, soften him up with some ground and pound now. And this is going to be tough for Grady, because it's going to be very difficult to get up. His best option is to just survive and get out of this round, start the second one on his feet, but it's going to be a long 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a tough concession with so much time left to go in round one, but I suspect that might be what plays out here.
Yeah, and you physically got a fire hydrant on your chest. Like, you got a very physically strong guy that is also very technical and is still fresh in the fight. So these are the spots where it's hard to get anything going, but kudos to this kid. He hasn't gotten his guard broken. He hasn't gotten past. You know, he's doing everything right. It's just it's survival mode for the time being. Nice little elbow to the body there from Brian Lawler, showing veteran savvy tactics.
Ian, Brian Lawler.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Ian. Whole other guy
Yeah,
entirely.
my bad.
He's Robbie Lawler's cousin.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, there's so many in the combat sports world. There's a lot of ways you can go with Lawler.
Trying to get some short little shots off his Grady, off his back, you know, just to keep him honest.
Ooh,
see, a couple nice little hammer fists. I don't know that I would suggest going for a triangle on a guy like this, but the fact that he's thinking, the fact that he's moving, the fact that he's at least causing Lawler to exert some energy, that's all good stuff still. He's losing the round, don't get me wrong, but when you're a big underdog, you're 0-4, you're taking on a guy that's good, sometimes surviving is a win in this opening frame.
And apologies to our viewers at home. It looks like, you know, there's been an electrical issue and the graphics aren't currently displaying at the moment, but we are working our way through this round.
No, Dylan, this is actually an unlimited fight. This goes until somebody taps or...
It's a submission only or a knockout only?
Well, right
We're going
now,
Valley Tudo style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all Lawler. I mean, you can't take anything away from him. He's doing everything right. Would you like to maybe see him pass? Would you like to see him go for a submission? Maybe, but this is a smart plan for round one. Just wear on him, make him carry your weight, soften him up with some short shots. You see these old school tactics like the palm on the mouth? Just stuff to disrupt him, make him uncomfortable.
I'm always real curious when these strong guys after round one to see where their tank is and cardio-wise. And
he just has so much muscle on him that you know that he won't be able to fight at a super crazy pace. And listen, this is the pace he would rather fight at, no doubt. But you still have a human being who's fighting for his life underneath you, and that's exhausting.
Grady is staying calm. He's giving me very Diaz working from his back vibes. He's throwing those little elbows.
Yeah, well, his chin and his ability to take a punch is what's keeping him in this thing. He's taking shots, but I mean, he seems to be unfazed and kind of rolling with them. Lawler back to the can opener to maybe try to open up this guard, but
Yeah, Lawler's a bully. Lawler's a real bully in this fight so far. Yeah, he's kind of taken that path, and he's really had a nice round one here.
Yeah, so far so good if you're in Lawler's corner. I mean, he's doing everything picture perfect. But, I mean, the finish, if the finish doesn't materialize here, then the next round starts, and it's going to be backstanding. And maybe he gets the easy blast double leg again. But, as we talked about, if he starts to fatigue a little bit, that motion, that explosion, it's not quite there anymore. The takedown doesn't quite materialize, and then things start to go south. Not saying it's going to happen, but there's a small moral victory here for Grady for surviving almost 5 full minutes on his back with a black belt on top of him.
Yeah, Grady's threatening to start slicing him up there. Some of those elbows he's throwing from his back are actually pretty dangerous.
And Cody, I'm glad you mentioned the 5 minutes because I started getting worried about the time, and then I remember these are pros, these are 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a huge difference maker.
Oh,
I'd actually like to see Lawler elbow a little bit more himself. See,
Ooh, there
just
it goes.
in tight, you know, you've already got him framed up. It's like, why not just chip away? The punches just take a lot more. You got to lean back. You got to create space. An elbow will slice you up, do damage, cause a cut. But solid first round for Lawler all the same.
Yeah, it's a grueling kind of round, too.
Yeah. Guys showing respect. Lawler helping him up. Nice.
Yeah, and Lawler doesn't seem too spent. He jumped right back up to his feet,
Yeah.
and he tried to pick Grady up to help him out. So solid first round for Lawler, and all he needs to do is do the same thing, essentially get that early takedown, set up control. He now knows that Grady can't get up off his back, right? Grady made no attempts to get up, no attempts to create space. He just had a closed guard and held it. So Lawler just really needs one takedown, and that's likely where the fight will stay. So things are trending towards where Lawler wants him to go. Grady, meanwhile, he needs to pull out the wild card. He needs to land something.
It's got to be movement. It's got to just be movement. He just can't get caught with all that man across the cage, getting a read on him and taking him 2 legs to the mat. He's really got to just move and be mindful of that.
Yeah, that's a lot of man.
Easier said than done, though, Channy. And Cody is 100% right. It looked a little too easy there for Lawler in round one.
Grady is ready, though. I mean,
Yeah,
he took his chair, his stool to the corner. Done a little extra lifting before going against Captain America over here.
Yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Waiting for him to gas out was the game plan. It's not working so far.
Plan B.
But again, he needs to land something in the pocket. This is where he could win. He needs to just clip him standing.
I love this sport. Anything can happen.
And the perspiration flying there off of Grady.
Oh.
He's landing though. Oh, man, that's what gets him. Same exact same thing.
Easy takedown.
And Lawler's able to push him up against the cage, and then from there it's an easy drop down, scoot the hips up, and just deposit him on the canvas.
And got him right back to where he wants him.
Yeah, in fact, not even in full guard. He's at least got half. So this is a much better position for Lawler. We'll see if he can get off some more ground and pound here.
Ooh.
Whoa, Grady
nice.
with a scramble.
Wow, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This could go down to the fatiguing angle, but it also goes to Grady's a fighter. The guy is cast iron. He may not win every time, but he'll at least try his best. And there's something that can be said for that.
Ooh,
He just swept a black belt, and now he's landing.
Grady's kind of unassuming, maybe with his posture and his movements, but he's actually done a much better job of moving and asserting himself here in round number 2.
And Lawler's first 2 takedown attempts he got with ease. This third one, he's really making him work for it. And yes, he gets it, but you see that it's, he's got to muscle him. Grady got 1 sweep already. Got to keep making him work.
Oh, look at this. These elbows starting to add up here for Lawler.
North-south choke on, it's in play, but I mean, it looks like Grady's just not 1 step ahead. He knows how to defend. A Kimura incoming. Nope. Again, Grady just squaring up his hips and keeping tight.
Yeah, you're seeing less and less of the north-south chokes. I feel like that's a choke that's increasingly rare.
You have to have like giant lats, like Jeff Monson was able to get it. Like these big, bulky guys are able to get it. I wouldn't doubt that Brian Lawler has gotten it, and that's why his corner's calling for it. They know it's one of his moves. But you're right. In MMA in 2024, it's not exactly the most utilized move for a reason. It's a low percentage type thing.
More intelligent submission defense there on display from Grady.
Yeah, and he's trying to scramble. He's still trying to squirm, create as much space as he can, try to bridge here and maybe make something happen. But Lawler's in side control, and when you're a big, heavy guy like that, it's a great position to be in.
Yeah, I expected to see more of those little short elbows from Lawler.
Look at Grady trying to use the cage to kind of wall walk up, and he gets past him out. Lawler looking for a high mount maybe. And there's still 2.5 minutes. This is going to be a long 2.5 minutes for Grady. Lawler postures up and he's putting some punishment on him. Nice little elbow from Lawler. Grady's going to explode here. He's just biding his time, waiting for his moment, and then he's going to try to hip out.
He's got 2 minutes left here in round number 2 to try and change these optics, but at the moment, Lawler is suffocating.
Yeah, the ground game's really been the huge difference maker here. Yeah, Grady was able to get up the one time, but I mean, that's it. A little bit of success and just not enough of it. His striking, I mean Lawler was landing great shots too. At least that's where he might be able to land something, but he's only spent about 30 seconds standing this entire fight. Lawler is fighting a perfect game plan to neutralize a guy like this.
Yeah, his pressure, his base is so strong right now. But like you said, Grady's got that dog in him. He's gonna lay down easy. It's gonna be because Lawler made it look that way.
Grady again trying to hip out, and I mean both guys are right in front of us. They're very, very lathered up, very sweaty. So it's gonna be hard to grab a submission at this point. But Grady needs to use the slipperiness to try to hip out and do something, because quickly the second round is coming to an end here, and he hasn't really gotten a whole lot done.
Yeah, only a minute remaining in the second round.
Well, you made mention on the walkout, Cody, of some rumors possibly about the status of Lawler moving forward beyond this fight tonight. What it could mean, and if this is it, what an effort here through a round and almost 2 rounds now. Picture perfect stuff from Lawler.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a career that he spent a lot of time honing his skills, and now he's a gym coach, and now he's passing on that knowledge to the next generation. But wouldn't you want to learn from this guy? He's doing everything right. Solid wrestling, solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, high ring IQ. And people could say, oh, well, I'd like to see this, I'd like to see that. Some of the best fighters in the sport are the ones that dominate with these positional awareness and just give you no opportunity to work your way back into it. Grady is 100% down 2 rounds, and he's going to have to just come out swinging in the third because Lawler has otherwise just dissected him.
Yeah, and Lawler's really picking his spots of when to get active here on the ground. It's almost like he's resting till he feels great, and he thinks he's just suffocating his opponent, and then he gets active with the damage, then he goes back to suffocation. It's really...
He's literally suffocating and covering his mouth.
Yeah,
nose.
it's really an effective technique there from Lawler.
Yeah, it's a lot of old school stuff, you know, with the mouth covering and the chest covering, even looking for that north-south choke. Like, you can tell he's a guy that's been in the game for a long time, and as a result has learned a ton of cool stuff.
Props to Grady, though. Being a blue belt, having a black belt on top of you for 2 full rounds and not getting submitted is pretty impressive.
Not to mention, Lawler's the one that's bleeding. I don't know where it comes from because Grady spent 9 minutes on his back, but to some extent, you know, for a guy that's 0-4 that wasn't expected to do much, he's survived 2 rounds, he's drawn a little bit of blood, he scrambled back at one point, but it does come down to this 3rd round, and is he going to be able to just make something happen and land? Possible, unlikely, but certainly possible, and that's why we love mixed martial arts, because anything can happen.
Yeah. No panic in that corner right now either. You know, I'm talking about Grady. I feel like Grady's really communicating very well with his corner. Lawler looks like he's a man who knows what he's got ahead of him, but maybe Grady's been saving some energy in the reserves here, and he's going to show it off in the 3rd round.
Well, this is his last time to show it off because he's only got 5 more minutes, so you might as well just empty the tank. He had some success in the striking in the 2nd round, and he stuffed a couple takedowns in the 2nd round and got a sweep in the 2nd round. There just wasn't enough of it. This 3rd round, he's got to put it all together.
Yeah,
Nice head kick.
And he starts off well. He's got some speed.
Yeah, he does. He does get up there quick.
And boy, oh boy, is durable, and he's got heart. So I like the kid. Nice little left hook there from Lawler, and then Lawler back on that double, but
nice.
Lands.
Wow.
He stung with that uppercut. Lawler's swinging, but it's a little more deliberate. Oh, single leg to the double leg. Grady's got to get his back off the cage. This is where Lawler's had most of his success.
This might be the fight right here if he gets this takedown.
Oh, nice.
It is the fight.
Nice.
It is the fight.
That was the critical moment here, I
Grady's
think.
going to come with a high kick here soon, too. You see
yes,
Lawler
the confidence
dipping into
switch
it.
is huge.
He needs a knockout. He might as well just go for it. His cardio's good. His durability's good. He's waited 10 minutes to get to this point.
Yeah.
Bad reaction
And it's
there
time
from
to make it
Lawler.
happen.
Yeah, he feels it too. You see the momentum swinging. Especially he keeps stuffing those takedowns. That's demoralizing for a wrestler.
Oh, and look out. This is going to be a nervous 4 minutes here for Lawler.
Look
Lawler's
at the crowd getting into this.
a little more desperate with those takedown attempts from the outside, but I mean, He's landing some great shots of his own. You see what's happening is Grady's fighting with his hands low, waiting for the takedown. And so now Lawler's just bombing him with left hooks over the top because his hands are so low. So
that mouthpiece buys just precious seconds here for Grady.
Nice. I like that head kick.
This is going to be a long 3.5 minutes, boys.
Gotta know the takedown's coming. You get lazy for 1 second.
Excellent adjustment from Brian Lawler. Excellent adjustment. Things start to look like they might be getting a little bit dicey, and then he just goes right back to the position that got him here. Very neutralizing. And
yeah, you could hear all three of us respond to that takedown because that's so big. You know, unless he hits a scramble, which I don't know how high a chance you think he's got, although he's given it all he's got right there.
Yeah, he got up that one time, but for the most part of this fight, it seems like it's going to end.
Yeah, and I really like the elbows, right? Because all of those are damaging, and they're doing damage. But it doesn't matter doing damage just winning the round. But just make him work, hit him, make him uncomfortable, and then you got to go. If he's got to give up his back, then give up his back. You're on your way to losing. You need to start taking chances.
That elbow there landed by Grady has opened up a very nasty looking cut on the head of Lawler.
Some of them have rocked him, but could you name the last time someone knocked somebody out off their back with elbows? Like, it's a 1% kind of thing. It's less than a 1% kind of thing. It's possible, but because you're down 2 rounds, you can't be landing off your back. You got to get back up.
Yeah, and it's so when that's all you have to do, and this man's on top of you, that sucks.
Yeah, and again, you could try to hold on to him and hope the ref stands you up, but the ref's not there to save you. You got to save yourself, and so Grady's fought valiantly. You can't take that away from him, but now in the dying 2 minutes of the round, he needs to go for broke and just take a chance.
Yeah, minute 50 remaining. As you said, that is an old school move, covering the mouth and nose.
Somebody's missing a mouthpiece here. I believe it's Grady. Luke Wilson will stop as the action allows.
And this is just the best position, really. Half guard. If he moves to side control, it's great, but it just doesn't give Grady a whole lot of options to do anything. Almost let him go to mount and then just scramble and give up your back. Like, you guys are both sweaty, you guys are both tired, but you got to just go. You got to just go.
You have to. His corner is yelling at you, want this, Cody, you want this. 1 minute remains.
And Lawler wants to put a stamp on it here, too, with a minute to go. Maybe hunt a stoppage.
Yeah, Lawler deserves to win. And even when things started the tide was starting to turn, he veteran move, got exactly where he wanted to go, and neutralized. If not, wins the round back fully and gets a 30-27. So you can't take away anything from Lawler now. Should have done that a minute ago.
Yeah. Oh, the knee.
Knee rock Lawler.
Lawler's getting bombed. Grady's just got to unload the clip. Grady's got to unload the clip right now.
It's a throwdown. It's a throwdown.
He's got to get off the cage.
Get up. Scramble. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. What a turn of events.
Wow, 15 seconds left.
Good fight.
Glimpse of hope for Grady. You got to respect the hell out of that right there.
Yeah, that was really something.
Which one of you guys compared him to the Diaz brothers?
Nah, it was me,
yeah. You can't wrestle, right? But he's super durable.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
It's like the ultimate.
Right, he 12 to 6s him right in the back of the head.
It was like the ultimate. Listen, I know that rule is changing soon. It's crazy that this has happened. But, gosh, we're going to see if we get the replay of that.
Oh,
no, this was the throwdown here in round 3.
And he takes those. He's got a chin on him.
But just to go back to that point there, the strike that was right at the bell, it was a vicious 12 to 6 looking elbow. I'd have to see a replay.
Yeah. It was a dirty looking elbow right to the back of the head. But the only reason I'm not saying Grady's not dirty.
No.
He had 2 seconds to just do something, and he just threw the craziest thing he could think of. So
you just worry about Lawler. I listened to interviews with Lawler. That's been a technique that he's been a victim to before.
The elbow in the back.
Yes, wow. And it's caused some real issues. As it would, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense because the knock on was that most of his losses were by knockout.
Yeah.
But what you just saw tonight, he got a chin on him.
Yeah.
He took some huge shots. So
both guys.
Kudos to Lawler, whose chin's getting better along with his overall skill set.
And Grady's going to be a dangerous 0-5 for whoever signs on that dotted line in the next time. It doesn't tell the full story there. He's really taking on some brutal competition.
He could be the best 0-5 fighter in the game. Like, who else is winless through 5 fights and yet is just cast iron durable, always brings a fight to you. And again, you knew he was down 2.
Yeah.
And he at no point quits. There's 40 seconds left. He just gets back up and he gets moving.
And you see that all the time. People that are down in rounds, they don't give it their all. And Grady said, forget that. I'm going for it.
Yeah, Aries has a home for this kid for life because he entertains the crowd. He's a consummate professional, and he's willing to take the tough fights. Didn't go his way tonight, but he came to fight, and at least he was able to deliver that.
The truth of the matter was tonight belongs to Ian Lawler. You know, and I'm sure we're going to get a post-fight interview with him if time allows. I would love to hear about the future because this was a very, very good performance he put forth tonight. And if it is the end, you know, what a way to go out. But he showed there's no reason to want to pack up shop here and move away. He just got a big pro win here on a big-time card here in Knoxville.
You know what? Yeah, a huge win on a big card in Knoxville. It feels good. Why would you want to quit? On the other end, an 0-4 guy almost bodied you. The fight game is dangerous.
Yeah.
And at some point, you got to realize it's time to pass it off to the next generation. The fact that he's coaching now, that's going to be huge for the Kentucky MMA community because he's able to bring his fight experience and life experience and share that with that next generation. So, yeah, I would love to know what's next for Lawler, and if it is retirement, nice way to go into retirement. If it's not, I think he's still got 1 or 2 left in him, eh, dude?
Yeah, it definitely looked like it tonight, and I think we're just waiting on the official.
Is there any concern with the cards taking this long? No, right?
It's a hot night. Nobody's moving fast enough.
Okay.
I certainly wasn't. I'll tell you right now.
Usually when it takes a while, there's some split controversy, but that seems very clear-cut winner for Ian Lawler.
Well, we will see. All will be revealed. Jeff Hobbs with those answers right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes to the judges' scorecards. Judge Amato scores this bout 29-28 Lawler. Judge Doran scores this bout 29-29 draw. And Judge Stewart scores this bout 29-28 for your winner by majority decision, Ian.
All right. Little suspense there.